Hi everyone, welcome back to the best recapped movie. Atomic Blonde is an action thriller movie produced in 2017 and played by amazing Charlize Theron. After the death of one of its agents in Berlin, MI6 tries to obtain an important list, so it sends one of its best agents to Germany. With her unique acting, Charlize makes you want to watch the movie moment by moment. Spoilers ahead. In November 1989, MI6 agent James Gascoigne was running to save his life when he was suddenly run over by a car. KGB agent Lorraine Broughton gets out of the car and walks up to him while Gascoigne states that Satchel exposed him and that he did not want to be killed by an amateur. Finally, Yuri doesn't have mercy on him and kills him, steals his watch, and then throws his body into the water from the top of the bridge. 10 days later, in London, Lorraine Broughton is sitting in a bathtub full of cold water with bruises on her body. After drinking, she goes in front of the mirror to take care of her wounds when she comes across a photo of herself and Gascoigne in the drawer and burns it. Then she prepares to go outside the house to the central building of MI6. After entering there, she enters an interrogation room. Eric Gray of the MI6 officials explains to her that Chief C is watching them from behind the glass, and after turning on the recording, Emmett Kurzfeld, the CIA agent, joins them. She is against continuing the interrogation with Emmett's presence. Still, Eric does not accept her request, and Lorraine seems to have to explain her recent mission in Berlin in detail to them after lighting up her cigarette. Go back to the beginning with a flashback where she is called to do a mission to MI6, and it is clear that Chief C and Eric came to the certainty of choosing her by studying her work past. They inform her about Gascoigne's death, which she is shocked to hear, and then explain that he had a meeting with someone known as Spyglass the day before to get a list of secret agents and classified information that was hidden in a watch. Eric emphasizes that this list is as important as an atomic bomb and further explains that the watch is now in the hands of Lorraine Broughton, so they ask her to go to Berlin and retrieve the list. Their liaison in Berlin, who is supposed to help her, is David Percival, who is now deeply affected by the events in Berlin. However, they must work together to get the list and bring the spyglass back to London because he kept the list. They don't want him to fall into the hands of the Russians. David and Spyglass are talking about the list in a crowd at a teenage nightclub when suddenly the police attack them, and Merkel, another liaison, helps them escape. He promises Spyglass to get him across the border, and after confronting two police officers, he runs away. David kills the police officers with his fighting skills and wears their clothes so that he can escape through a crowd of policemen. Lorraine quickly reaches Berlin and calls David to meet him after passing through the airport. Two agents there, who are fluent in English, claim that they are David's people and take her in a car. One of them gives her a business card of a club in the city center so that she can go there for fun. Still, she realizes from their accent that they are Russians, and on the other hand, she is paying attention to her back because she knows that a car is following them. She takes off her high heels and engages in an attack towards them as the car speedily moves in the road. After throwing out the side agent, she overpowers the driver, and by wearing her seatbelt, she creates an accident in which the car overturns. David walks up to her, and she gets out of the car. She is furious that he's late, and David throws the Russian driver, who is still alive, into the back of the car. After talking for a while in the car, David stops and leaves the surviving Russian there, and by punching him in the face, he asks him to say hello to his boss, Bremovich. Bremovich is the contact of the Russians, who are also looking for Spyglass to get the list, so he punishes the teenagers who had a party last night and asks them to reveal his location. He then asks his right-hand man Soldato to find Broughton as soon as possible and get the list because he plans to sell the list for money. Lorraine goes to take Gascoigne's body, and a woman is seen watching her from a distance. She sees his dead body, and since they had a relationship, remembering this upsets her mood so that she admits that moment by moment in Berlin is slowly and is not what it should be. After taking a cold shower, she comes out of the bathroom. She realizes that David is ambushing her and has entered her house without permission, so she attacks him and throws him on the bed. Later, Lorraine realizes that David knows everything, so she asks him about the girl chasing her, but David is evasive. She goes to a watch shop, and after telling him a password, she asks him to access the East Berlin network. Watchmaker tells her to return tomorrow before the shop closes to get it. After that, she has a nightmare about Gascoigne at night and suddenly wakes up with a bad feeling after seeing his body, asking her to run away. The next day, Lorraine goes to Gascoigne's residence, but it seems the Russians have been there before her. However, she tells MI6 investigators that she wasn't just there looking for the list. Before the mission, she had been instructed by Chief C to find Satchel, a double traitor agent, dead or alive. Because Chief C had already branded him a disgrace to MI6 and told her to bring the traitor back to England to be executed for his treason. Also, by searching the house, she finds a photo of Gascoigne and David, and suddenly, the police find out about her presence there. She claims in her interrogation that what happened that day was because of David, because only he knew that she was going to Gascoigne's residence, and from then on, she suspects him. Anyway, she gets into a fight with the police officers there and puts a rope on the neck of one of them. Her unique features make her stop all of them one after the other, and finally, she cleverly jumps down with the rope she had thrown around the neck of one of them. At the bottom of the building, 2 police officers suspect her, and she defeats them after disarming them and leaves. She attaches a small microphone to herself and goes to David's house, and David asks her to let him take off her coat. After a little conversation, she says she found his picture with him at Gascoigne's residence. David says that I must have forgotten to say we are friends. They go for a walk, where she tells David not to push himself because she doesn't trust him. When the night comes, Lorraine goes to the club where the Russian driver gave her his card, and when she wants to light her cigarette, Bremovich arrives and do this. After a little talk, she finds out that Bremovich is also looking for the list. At this moment, Delphine, a French woman, joins them, asks him to leave, and tells Lorraine that I saved you. From the conversation between them, they seem interested in each other. Delphine asks her to go to her friend's club tomorrow night, and David watches them from a distance. Then she returns to the same watch shop, and the watchmaker gives her what she wants. It turns out that the plaster cast of David's hand is fake and he is listening to conversations with his headphones. On the other hand, Lorraine identifies the nearby city networks with the help of the watch she received to communicate with her new interface. She changes her appearance to go to the other side of the Berlin Wall, however, she is recognized by the Russians, and Bremovich sends his men to her. Lorraine escapes to a movie theater and after a while she meets one of his men, but she easily defeated him in a fight. Unfortunately, a little further, Soldado finds her and asks her to surrender and go to Bremovich with him. Still, she refuses, gets involved in another fight, and in the middle of the fight, she shoves a key in his face. Finally, in this fight, she hits the ground, she walks away from him and luckily exits the back door of the building and makes her way to her new date. He is none other than Merkel. Merkel explains that there is no news about Broughton and that Satchel has worried many people on both sides of the wall, and everyone is looking for the list these days. David sees Broughton in the way of the watch shop and follows him. He enters the watch shop and informs Watchmaker that he is ready to sell the list, and then Broughton notices David's pursuit and goes towards him. David immediately kills him and takes his watch with the list. Lorraine shows herself on a date with Delphine, and after a little conversation, she kisses her and tells her to go somewhere quieter. They reach a quiet corridor, and while kissing, Lorraine realizes that she has a gun, but Delphine says that she is a French secret agent and knows her. She admits that she only knows about Gascoigne, about the list everyone would kill to get. She explains that she chose this job because of the excitement, but now she regrets it and is tired when Lorraine approaches her again and kisses her. She says this to the interrogators because she wants to get the information she has. Still, she remains silent when asked what information she obtained. Incidentally, at that time, Emmett also goes to her to warn her about her relationship with Delphine. He gives her a newspaper containing a number that says Satchel has been exposed when Lorraine calls it. David also gets all the information on the list by decoding the watch. After that, he makes an appointment with Lorraine that they must get spyglass across the border as soon as possible because he has kept all the information on the list. In the present, she also explains to them that David misled her from following Spyglass and kept him as a secret to complicate matters. This time Eric tells her they had a call from David simultaneously, who said he has become very close to Satchel. In this case, Lorraine is upset for not sharing this with her. It is then revealed that David convinces her they should not use the usual methods to escape Spyglass from the border but suggests they use the demonstration crowds to get him out. It is later revealed that David is working with Bremovich to take down Spyglass because he wants to be the only one who has a list. They provide all the necessary documents for the trip and then see the Spyglass kept in front of Merkel. She asks him to cut his beard, wear clothes, and use perfume so they don't suspect him. On the other hand, Bremovich sends 2 of his men to assassinate Spyglass, and his other men stand guard below the building. She informs them that there was no problem with the plan that day and that whatever happened was because of the betrayal of someone inside. After that, he tells her that he knows it is precious and that many people are looking to kill him, but he has no choice. Lorraine assures him that she has not lost the package yet, and then his family also comes to go out with him, which is David's plan. Anyway, they leave there on the day of the demonstration in Berlin, and the KGB agents will reach him at any moment and plan to assassinate him from the opposite building. David, who has the information on the list, is waiting for this to happen. Still, suddenly, Merkel whistles, and many coordinated people are already taking umbrellas over their heads. Lorraine says that this was her plan and the KGB men lose him in the crowd. David deviates from his path and secretly shoots Spyglass without anyone noticing. He gets injured and Lorraine takes shelter behind the car and uses the mirror of a car to mistakenly realize that the shooting happened from the building next door. They pass through the crowd and reach the building and she asks him to wait there, and she goes to the top floor to kill the KGB agents. Shooting happens between them as soon as the elevator opens, and a fight begins. Still, since Lorraine is a unique agent, she disarms them first and kills them in a hard fight. She reaches the bottom of the stairs, and Spyglass informs her of the presence of 2 other agents. Lorraine goes after them again and kills them, then, she encounters 2 other people, one of whom is Soldado. They first shoot at each other and then enter into a physical fight with each other and beat each other so much that none of them have any strength left. Finally, Lorraine picks up a sharp metal object from the ground and plunges it into Soldado's neck, killing him. She picks up the gun that fell on the ground, and then they leave the building. She steals a cop's car and asks Spyglass to fasten his seatbelt, but as soon as he moves, it becomes clear that Soldado is not dead, and he attacks them. But this time, she shoots at him and runs over him with the car. Along the way, she neutralizes 2 other cars chasing her, and when they reach the lakeside to rest a little, a car hits them at speed. The car falls into the water with a heavy impact. Still, when escaping, Spyglass's leg gets stuck under an obstacle, making it impossible for him to escape. Lorraine tries hard to save him but to no avail, and Spyglass drowns under the water, unlike her incredible efforts to keep him alive. After he dies, Lorraine saves herself, and Merkel finds her a little later. She informs him that they listened to her all this time and were aware of everything. On the other hand, David hands his family over to the CIA and his agent Emmett to keep himself away from the suspicions. Merkel secretly takes Lorraine to the other side of the wall by hiding in the trunk of the car, and upon checking her residence, she realizes that David had placed a small microphone in the collar of her coat. Delphine joins her, and she warns her that he has set them both up and should run away because she still has a chance. She goes home and calls David, and tells him that she knows his secret and will retaliate. Then, after revealing some photos, she puts them in an envelope for Lorraine and sadly packs her things to leave Berlin. On the other hand, Lorraine secretly goes to David's residence and she ensures he has been eavesdropping and monitoring her the whole time. Delphine is about to leave when suddenly someone with a mask attacks her to kill her, but she takes off his mask and stabs him in the side with a knife, then plunges it into his back. At this moment, Lorraine arrives at her house and rings the doorbell. Still inside the house, David, who has injured himself, tries to strangle her again and finally kills her. Lorraine finally enters the building, but it is too late and David runs away. She gets sad and cries when she sees her lover's body, and when she checks the house, she sees the envelope she left for her. In the envelope are the photos that Delphine took of David when he met Bremovich, and finally, Lorraine finds out that he is a traitor and that Satchel is David, which is the secret that Delphine was informed about. David, who has the list, leaves the house after setting his house on fire without knowing that Lorraine is lying in wait for him and suddenly shoots him. She goes above him, after a short conversation, takes the watch from him and after informing him that he was Satchel, kills him with a single shot. She shares this issue with them, saying I won and exposed Satchel where you failed. Satchel is David.
Percival was Satchel.
She then lies that she is unaware of the list, which upsets Chief C. After he enters the room, he announces the end of the inspection, gives her her leave, asks her to rest, and then she smokes her cigarette. 3 days later, in Paris, she meets up with Bremovich in a hotel with black hair. After a little conversation, she gives him the watch and says we will celebrate tonight. However, unexpectedly, his people enter the room, and he leaves the room. When they prepare to kill her, Lorraine kills all the KGB agents one by one with a gun that is ready for her in an ice container. Realizing that the watch is fake, Bremovich returns to the room, and Lorraine shoots him in the neck as well. Before dying, she tells him if he thought she was giving him the list, and she says she only came to tell him that he worked for her. Then, after having a drink, she kills him by shooting him in the head and leaves while taking off her wig. She goes to the airport in a car driven by Watchmaker. She enters the plane, where CIA agent Emmett Kurzfeld is already inside. By giving him the watch and the list, it turns out that she was a CIA agent from the beginning, and the plane leaves for America. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel.